Sorry guys, I abruptly stopped the last video. I'm going to continue where I left off. He still did not fully understand how it worked, and doubted he ever would, but it bent, perhaps shattered, his previous notions of time and the very nature of reality. How could human beings have choice if the path was already determined? Or was it? With every passing moment, the turmoil of the world around him became more pressing. Various countries were threatening nuclear strikes against each other. Al-Azra had infiltrated and begun manipulating multiple governments, from Russia to China, or perhaps it was the other way around. No one was immune, and the scientists knew no one would survive if nothing were done. Doubt filled his mind. Was this futile? Was the future a fixed reality? The implications ran through his mind on his own hamster wheel of fate, throwing him into moments of stupor and manic bouts of insane rantings, alone as he lay in his bed on the quietest nights. Those rare evenings where there was an unspoken agreement amongst the citizenry of the city, where they would not riot, but rest, were his most tortured periods in the quietude of his knowledge of the path they were on. It was for this reason that sleep usually eluded him, driving him back to the workshop to continue his drudgery. I can't tell them, he thought, because they'll break it before it can even self-sustain. They'll break it before I even have a chance to save them. He froze in his seat, holding a soldering iron in his hand as it dripped alloy about the table he was constructing a microchip for the looking glass on. They'd probably kill me. The old shed's aluminum walls were now replaced with black networks of steel and concrete that formed towering ramparts against the gales of the incessant calamities that now plagued the inner city daily. The forest concealed the now impressive fortification against the uncomprehending eyes of the downtrodden that would walk by every once in a while. The entry to his workshop, to this point, was nothing more than a steel door that pressure-sealed the interior from the outside air. Nondescript, camouflaged. He walked up to it on a cold, cloudy day, air crisp with the scent of pine needles, and allowed himself a brief moment to revel in what stood before him. If there is a God, may he have mercy on our souls. If this is to be our end, spare me the torment of watching it. He had a morbid certainty, he thought, that his testament would fall upon deaf ears. His hand reached out for the door, but was stopped by his surprise. He heard a rustling in the brush behind him and the sound of a man breathing heavily as if exerting great force. The rustling stopped, but the man's breathing was immediately behind him, in the clearing the looking-glass made. "Sir," the man said exhaustedly. The scientist whipped his head around, startled. The man, no more than 20 years old, was wearing military fatigues, a green helmet, and had a rifle strapped across his shoulder. "What?" the scientist said, nervous at what this meant. Had General Donnelly's actions been discovered? Was this person sent to take me in? The soldier held out his arm, an envelope clasped in his hand. The scientist reached for it in a skeptical manner. "What's this?" the scientist said. "I don't know, sir. I was just told to bring it to these coordinates." He pulled out a paper from one of his pockets and showed it to the scientist. "I was told to bring it as fast as I could because it was super urgent." The scientist opened the letter. "Hello again, my friend. This is General Donnelly. I come to you with grave news. If the hour weren't so late, I wouldn't even run the risk of sending this out to you. But there's no time left, and I'm out of options. It has been confirmed that at 1700 Zulu time, today, Al-Azra, at the command of Muhammad al-Sharif Rahim, just the name I picked, will detonate a thermonuclear bomb in downtown Manhattan, perhaps other places as well. There are no means to stop this. All those in positions of power that could potentially do something about it, to include myself, have been gagged, and some have even been killed. I'll surely die soon myself, which is why you must go. Take whatever work you've completed and get out. There's nothing you can do, nothing more you can do. May God have mercy on our souls. May he save us from the torment of surviving what is to come. Godspeed. Craig Donnelly, Major General, United States Air Force. And I'll leave it there for now, and I'll come at you with the next excerpt later. Love y'all. Peace.